Some decisions are loud. You tell everyone about them. You post about them. You celebrate them before they even begin. But the decisions that actually change your life are quiet. No announcement, no applause, just you, alone, in a moment nobody else saw. This is the story of a man who made one quiet decision, and it rebuilt everything. His name was Rayan, 26 years old, not rich, not poor, just stuck. He had a small room in a shared apartment, a job that paid just enough to survive, and a mind that never stopped running, but somehow never went anywhere. Every morning, Rayan woke up with a plan. Today will be different. Today I'll start. Today I'll fix things. And every night, he went to sleep with the same quiet guilt. I didn't do it again. He wasn't a bad person, he wasn't stupid, he just couldn't bridge the gap between who he was and who he knew he could be. Months passed like this, then a year. His friends were moving forward. One got a promotion, one started a business, one got married and seemed happy. Real happy, not just for the photos. And Rayan would scroll through their lives at night, lying on his bed, ceiling fans spinning slowly above him, and he would feel something he didn't want to name. It wasn't hate, it wasn't even jealousy, really. It was something quieter. Why not me? He started sleeping later, waking up later, eating whatever was easy, skipping the gym he had paid for, watching one more video, then one more, then one more. He told himself he was tired. He told himself he needed rest. But deep down, in that honest place inside every person, he knew he wasn't tired. He was avoiding the work, avoiding the discomfort, avoiding the version of himself that required more. One evening, his mother called. She asked the usual questions. How is work? Are you eating well? Are you okay? And Rayan said, yes, Mama, everything is fine. But when the call ended, he sat in the silence of his small room, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't reach for his phone. He just sat there, with himself. And it was uncomfortable, because when the noise goes away, you hear the truth. That night, Rayan couldn't sleep. He got up around 2 a.m. and walked to the small window in his room. The street outside was empty. No cars, no people, just a single streetlight, glowing quietly in the dark. Not dramatic, not beautiful, just steady. He stood there looking at it for a long time, and something about that light bothered him. It doesn't know if anyone is watching, he thought. It doesn't wait for morning to decide to shine. It just does what it was made to do, every night, quietly, without reward. He doesn't know how long he stood there, but when he walked back to his bed, something had shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a door closing softly in a room you've left too many times. He picked up an old notebook from his shelf, dusty, half-used. He opened it, and he wrote one sentence. Not a goal list, not a 5-year plan, just one sentence. I am done being someone I don't respect. He closed the notebook, put it on his desk where he could see it, and went to sleep. The next morning, Rayan woke up at 6, not because an alarm forced him, but because something inside him was different. He didn't check his phone first. He made his bed. He drank water. He sat quietly for 10 minutes, just breathing. It wasn't magical. It wasn't some movie moment. It was just small, but it was real. And that day, he did the one thing he had been avoiding for months. He sat down, opened his laptop, and started. Not perfectly, not confidently, but he started. The work was slow, messy, frustrating, but he kept going. And the next day, he did it again. And the day after that. He didn't tell anyone. No posts, no announcements, no new chapter captions. Just the quiet daily decision to show up. Weeks passed, then a month. Something strange started happening. The gap he used to feel, that wide, cold river, it was still there, but it felt narrower, like he was building a bridge, one plank at a time. Nobody could see the bridge yet, but he could feel it under his feet. And that feeling, that small, steady feeling of moving, was worth more than anything he had scrolled through on his phone. Here is what Rayan learned, and what this story wants to leave with you. The decisions that change your life are almost never the big dramatic ones. They're not the ones you announce. They're not the ones that get applause. They happen at 2 a.m. by a window, or in a quiet moment after a phone call ends, or in a half-used notebook no one will ever read. They happen when you're alone with yourself, truly alone, and you make a choice. Not for the world, not for approval, just for you. Because you are finally tired enough of not being who you know you are. Most people wait for motivation to arrive. They wait for the perfect moment, the right mood, the right circumstances. But motivation doesn't come first. Action comes first. And then, slowly, quietly, everything else follows. The quiet decision is not a feeling, it's a turning point, and it doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Rayon never became famous. He never went viral. He didn't make millions. But 6 months after that night by the window, he looked in the mirror one morning and recognized the person looking back at him. That was enough. That was everything. Because the most important rebuilding in the world is not a career, not a bank account, not a relationship. It's the rebuilding of your relationship with yourself, and it starts with one quiet decision, made alone, in a moment nobody sees. Maybe tonight is your moment. Maybe right now, as you're listening to this, something inside you is already shifting. Don't ignore it. Don't scroll past it. Sit with it. And when you're ready, make the decision. Quietly, powerfully, just for you. If this story touched something inside you, like, share, and subscribe to The Wordy Tales. More stories are waiting for you.